It was a cold night, dead cold. The delivery man had been here. I could tell by the crushed daisies and the absence of my parcel. It wasn't on the doorstep, of course. It was hidden, somewhere safe. But where was the question? Behind a bin or a bush? In this town, packages don't get delivered. They go missing.
Is there some sort of national game that's going on? You know, where every delivery man in the UK is in some sort of game to find the strangest place to leave parcels. I've counted, and there are no less than 8 different spots parcels have been left in the last year. Now, there's a blind spot I want to tackle at the back of the house, but whilst I do that, I thought I'd answer a common question that I receive. Which type of camera should I buy? In terms of brand, I've used, well, I think 4 different brands over the years, but to cut to the chase, the answer is Reolink. I know there's other brands out there, but the answer is Reolink. I get countless brands approaching me every week, and cameras are one of the most common categories, but you will see that the answer is Reolink. You can, of course, get any brand that you fancy, so what follows applies to most camera brands. But here's the criteria that I assess every company on, whether I'd want to even test their products. And this is ultimately what you should also consider in buying. And this is why I and, well, the whole open source community love Reolink. Test 1, subscriptions. Check if the brand requires subscriptions. Lots require them to even use your camera, and others limit the best features. This sometimes works for people, but add it into the price. Don't kid yourself. So if the camera is £200 with an £8 a month subscription tax, then even assuming your camera is only going to last for 3 years, then recognise that you are buying a £488 camera, not a £200 one. Test 2, openness. Even if you don't use it, look up how well the device integrates with Home Assistant, because this is just a brilliant measure of a company's culture, how open and how community focused they are. The best of the very best is Platinum support. This is like a Michelin star for home automation. Gold means it's good, and so on. You can also see in the comments what end users are talking about. If they're complaining about how hard it is to get working or the fact that it keeps breaking, then it's a signal. If they're having a love-in about how great the developer is for all his cool features, then that speaks volumes too. Test 3, local control. I know this speaks for itself, but checking the range of options for local versus cloud control is essential on a range of factors, be it privacy, security, or corporate behaviour. Test 4, add-ons. Likewise, you should check what it actually takes to set up the basic camera. Quite often, they will not be upfront about how you need to buy a hub or some sort of NVR for the camera to actually work.
This all may not sound particularly exciting or even important, but it's actually everything. Because these cameras aren't locked into some cloud-only ecosystem, I can connect them to whatever systems I want. Home Assistant, Frigate, my own dashboards, it's all just there waiting to be used. So if I want a live view of my front door in my workshop while I'm working in my workshop, that's trivial. I can use any tablet, PC or device I fancy, and it works. And if I want my DIY photo frame in the hallway to automatically switch to the camera feed when someone approaches the house, I can do that. And by the way, I'll make this code available to Patreons. And when I walk through the door, I can click a button and have it flip back to my family calendar and reminders. I can even make the lights flash if someone arrives while I'm busy using noisy tools. That's the real power of open systems. They're my devices, so I should be able to use them how I want.
But where it gets trickier, and a common question that I get asked, is which one? Because let's face it, there are loads and loads of options. I mean, if you want a camo cam with 4G for watching bears swimming, well, there's a camera for that. But I think for a vast majority of users, I boiled down to 3 classes of camera. I've held off a bit on this as I knew that there was another camera launching that I wanted to test anyway. So let's go through the top 3 types of cameras, where they play best, and showcase my new buddy, the all-rounder. Okay, this is a class of device that you can just plonk in for all-round use. It covers pretty much every scenario. If you were going to stick one camera on your house, this would be a good place to start. These cameras are able to rotate and zoom and track, so they can cover a huge range of angles and situations. They're brilliant all-rounders for almost all security uses. I've got the TrackMix PoE cameras in various spots already, and they're brilliant. But I'll spend a bit more time on this guy, as firstly, he's brand new, and secondly, I need to get him installed. This is the Trackflex Floodlight Wi-Fi. Essentially, Reolink have been breeding the best bits of the TrackMix and the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi, and this is what popped out 9 months later. This really shows what I mean about all-rounders. This has 2 lenses, so you get both a wide-angle camera for seeing what's going on and a 6x telephoto for seeing the detail. It can monitor 270 degrees with a PIR and also rotate the camera to get perfect 360 coverage. Let's just get this out of the way. The NCF of TrackMixes is very high. Anything that turns and looks at you instantly gets a +4 cool factor. This also has a high cute factor. I mean, he's got 2 eyes and light up ears. But think of spots like the corner of your home. This would fit perfectly and cover an area that you'd need maybe 2 or 3 cameras generally to track. He's inherited the same super clever local AI video search as the Elite Wi-Fi, which honestly is like electric cars. Once you've tried searching instantly by just typing what you want, you can never go back to scrolling through. But where the Elite and the Duo offer 180 degree coverage, this has 270 degree detection and 360 vision. The PIR basically is constantly scanning for movement. Then the head can swivel in any direction at all, like an owl with a PIR in its head and a 6x hybrid zoom and no feathers. So if you want an all-in-one device, if you just want to plonk a single camera somewhere, this is a pretty stellar choice. Loads of AI tracking options, zone control, floodlight, a siren, lighting, both deterring people and welcoming them, and all wrapped up in that good old Reolink business model. No subscription fees, local AI, platinum support for Home Assistant. Panorama cams. There are some situations where you will want a constant wide-angle view. You might want to keep sight of your whole driveway at once, or keep an eye on all the kids playing on your lawn. This is where a TrackMix would go dizzy trying to keep track. And it's where panorama cameras come in. And for this, the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi and the Duo 3 come in as 2 of my favourites. These offer super high resolution, wide angle views of any particular area. You can check out my dedicated videos for these, but they're brilliant, whether using PoE or Wi-Fi mains flavours for just giving instant sight of a large area. They offer super high resolutions by blending 2 high resolution cameras into one. These can be great as they're fixed cameras for things like time lapses. You can just click in the app to record a sunset or capture the party, so they have their own unique advantages. So the final category is the point use camera. These are simple cameras where I want a fixed view of a location. I use a PoE spotlight camera for monitoring my CNC and other devices. I'll be building these into lots of future projects to help me monitor what's going on. They're pretty aggressively priced. In the past, I'd have used a webcam by default, but actually I can get 45% more pixels than even a 4K webcam. I don't need to worry about another device to connect it to, and I just need a Wi-Fi or PoE connections, and I get lots of AI features and everything integrates into any system that I want instantly. So these are great to consider for projects and fixed spots like your barbecue, your CNC, your 3D printer farm, plant beds and more. So that's the 3 types. If you start with these, you will make it far easier to find the right solution. Connectivity is your call. Some love PoE, some love Wi-Fi, some love powered, some need a battery. Personally, I always lean to powered, but I have been converted to at least Reolink's Wi-Fi options recently. I really couldn't tell which was which, so I would start with PoE if getting a network cable there is easy, and Wi-Fi if not. Now for all these, there are of course variations in features and connectivity type. These all play into the cost, so you can trim these up and down to suit your budget. So that's my quick guide, and all that's left for me to do is to test that this new bad boy will spot all those rogue parcel deliveries once and for all. Ta-ta and talk.